Hey everybody, Glad Dad here. I've got the profile that you guys have been waiting on for a very long time. I decided to go ahead and bring you guys my updated Gladiator Beast deck profile for the current format. Going into the next format, obviously it's going to be really tough once the tier elements get their Shizu support, the fairies. But I decided to go ahead and update this for you guys because I know you guys love it just as much as I do and been waiting on it for a very long time. And I've kind of been like going back and forth at the drawing board with this, trying to find a somewhat competitive version that's still somewhat reliable. And right now is not, a decent time to play it because not very many people are playing too many hand traps except for like BD Crow, which doesn't hurt this deck, Nibiru, which is deck can kind of play under Nibiru, and then Imperm. So if they have the Imperm, they have it. But without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it because I know you guys are just as excited to see this as I am to show you guys. So up first, we have the boy. We have 3 Rescue Rabbits. Still play the Rescue Rabbit variant. I like Rabbit mostly. Most of you guys know I love Rabbit because of Rabbit. He's one of my favorite cards. But I really like Rabbit because he's just a solid overall, gets you 2 bodies. And he banishes for cost, so you don't need the graveyard. And then to summon off of Rabbit, we have our 3 Ondals. The card that still needs a higher upgrade. The best common in the deck. I still like this engine. I'll go ahead and say this though real quick before I get any further into the profile. This build is more based on a pure Gladiator Beast variant. I will be uploading a Tri-Brigade version that I really like, and you'll see a couple Tri-Brigade cards in the deck, or mostly in the extra deck in this version. But I tried to keep it as pure as possible. So, we do play the 1 Champion Pack Bestiary. You do not have to play this card unless, this card's really good in the Tri-Brigade version. I like the main deck, the 1, just because it's a Champion Pack Super, but I also like to play it because he's one of my favorites. He's one of the OGs, and it still really comes up to summon him just to force a back row, or to hard make the Geysers. So, then for the rest of the one-ups, we do play the 1 Darius. He's the Monster Reborn. I still like this card because you can search it off of Tanky or Proving Ground. I do not play Tanky in this build just because I made room for other cards. But you could play Tanky if you want to. We play the 1 Aquise to fetch our comeback back from the graveyard. We do play the 1 Elemental Hero Prisma, or, well, a Torix. She's basically Elemental Hero Prisma. She's the main one that you search most of the time off Proving Ground or Tanky. For the big guys, we do play the 1 Vesp still because we are playing Rejection. He's also a Battle Trap. And then we do standardly still play the 2 Augustus. I still would not bump this to 3, and I still would not cut it down to 1. He is he's the main one that gets you into your Tamer Editor plays. Then we have the triple honorary Glad Beast, the Test Tiger. This is still overall the best extender in the deck. Just the ability to turn any monster into whatever you want it to be whenever, or to make the Test Panther for free. Now, we are playing 1 hand trap in this deck, and the reason is I'm playing this hand trap is because it does not hurt this deck at all. This deck can play around it really well, really easy, especially if you lose the die roll, and it really turns off a lot of decks this meta. We're playing Dimensional Shifter because this guy is insane with the fact that you can literally build your whole board going through battle phase. Everything shuffles back into the deck. This card is just cracked in this deck. It's so good. And then on to the spell cards, because that's all the monsters. We are playing the triple Rhoda, because it's not a once per turn. So we can search all the pieces out of our deck that we want to use. Then we are playing the triple Rejection, like I mentioned earlier. It's anti-targeting for your Gladiator Beast cards. It also gives you an additional body when coming from the main deck, like off Rabbit or Unexpected Die. Best card in the deck, in my opinion, aside from Rescue Rabbit, of course, is the 3 Comebacks. This is a non-hard once per turn Monster Reborn that also gives them a protection from battle and also can summon from the hand. So, it's a pretty cracked card for a common, in my opinion. Last, you guys heard me say this, Unexpected Die. The card is insane with Rejection. It's just a +3, +4. And then I am deciding to main deck Dark Ruler no more. And the reason I am main decking this over Dropless is because You don't care about doing damage. As long as you can get a Glad Beast into battle and then tag out, you are perfectly fine. This card is insane. You can also main deck evenly matched if you want to go for more of a second build, because of the fact that you can just normal one, attack, tag out, chain evenly, because they shuffle back for cost. So your opponent still has to get rid of it down to one card, and you still can get rid of that one, whatever that one card is, off of whatever you summon. Then the last couple one-ups is we do play the One Monster Reborn still. We do play the World Legacy Succession, just because you want to sometimes, like if you don't open D-Shifter, you do need to use your graveyard occasionally depending on your hand. These cards really help. I decided to opt to play the one Hornet Drone just because it generates a free body, because Test Panther just needs one Glad and anything else. So, we do play the one Call by the Grave. Pretty standard. I opt to play D-Fisher again in the main. You guys might have seen this in some of my older builds and stuff. I did play D-Shifter, and then I do play Macrocosmo. And I think the reason I play this is, again, because you don't care about your graveyard in this deck. This deck can play around not having a graveyard so much. That these cards and then the D-Shifters, they just help you get an advantage over the decks that are on the format right now. So onto the extra deck. I am still playing the 2 Test Panthers. I don't think you need a third. It hasn't come up for me. And you definitely need more than one, though. Then we do play the 1 Link Spider. You're still playing Vanillas. This card is still very helpful. Also gets you out of the Nib token. We do play the 1 IP. I still like going IP into, something else, or IP into access code, or Appaloosa, or even Unicorn. IP into Unicorn's a really good interruption. I am opting to play 1 Berry Blossom in here. Like I said, you guys are going to see a couple Tri-Braided cards in the extra deck because I like the way they synergize with the Glad Beasts. This is just really nice to get an extra body out of your hand, to give you an additional way to climb into higher links. We're still playing the 1 Unicorn just because it's a really nice Link 3 solid with the IP combo as well. Then we are opting to play Appaloosa again because this card just hasn't seen play as much anymore. This deck can still end on the 3-4 negate Appaloosa really easy with the Domo Tianis and the Heraclinos. We do play the 1 Access Code Talker for easier OTKs. And I do enjoy playing 1 Ominous Omen. And I think the reason I like the Shureg in this deck is because he's easy to make. He's just another body that can get you stuff. And he can non-target banish a card. So I think it's really nice to be able to non-target banish a card that could be highly annoying. Now onto my favorite part of the extra deck, which is my fusions. So the most cracked card in the extra deck is Tame Redditor. This guy is a walking double evolution pill. He can summon any Gladiator Beast fusion monster from the extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Now just remember, the cards that he summons from the extra deck cannot be summoned back from the graveyard because they have not been summoned properly. But other than that, this card, I love this card. Most people will try to nib you on this card, though, so that way they can stop the full combo. Then on to my boy, Domo Tianis. I'm still playing 2 of him because he's your main win con. He's your main boss monster. This guy just really helps easy OTKs. He's 3,500. He controls the battle phase, which is not an activated effect. So under Mystic Mind, if your opponent tries to Hayate you or anything like that, you can still redirect the attack to Domo Tianis. He has a monster effect negate that negates the activation and destroys the card, so he can still activate in damage step, which is really nice. This guy is the real powerhouse of the deck and really it's hard for your opponent to out him sometimes. He outs Avermax, which I like too. Then we do play the 1 pretty ulti Heraclinos. Still OG classic, love my Heraclinos. But last but not least would have to be my favorite card in the extra deck, which is, most of you know, is Geysiris. I love fucking Geysiris. The fact that you can use this to use Tame Redditor, summon him, pop 2 cards, then shuffle this back in the extra deck after battle phase just to summon the 2 big guys to make Tame Redditor again, just to summon him again to pop 2 more cards is pretty cracked. But other than that, that is the deck profile for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm really glad I brought it to you guys. I will have to get a combo video up to you guys here shortly. I don't have the time to do it at the moment, but I will get one up to you here within this next week, I promise. If you want to know anything about the rest of the deck, then go ahead and check out some of my older combo videos. It's relatively the same. The only thing that changes is a couple cards in the extra deck and maybe the playing around the D-shifter when you have to use it, which I will gladly show you guys how to do. But until next time.